So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the supply and demand for the modular home-based industry. And I'm just going to draw up a few diagrams here on the whiteboard just to determine what's sort of happening within the housing market and how we can sort of drive down prices in construction by looking at other forms of affordable housing. So I'm going to start off down here and go here across. Okay, so this here is going to be the P, and we're going to come down here and we've got the quantity. Okay, so we've got the price and then we've got the quantity here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change color next. So we're going to have blue for supply and red for demand. So first thing I'm going to do here is we're going to do supply first. Okay, so supply within the housing market at the moment, we're just going to go here, and that's going to be our S there. Okay, and from here, what we're going to do is we are going to go demand. Okay, so with our demand at the moment, our demand exceeds the quantity, or goes to it's pretty much, yeah, so it's a seller's market at the moment. So we know that our demand is around here probably for quantity, and then up here for price. See if I can fix that. There we go. And that's D there. Okay, we'll call that D1. Okay. All right. So from here, uh, we can sort of go, okay, well, if the building materials continue to go up and construction costs continue to go up, um, and interest rates go down again, what we're going to see is we're going to see this figure here increase more. So we'll see D1 here go up here to D2. Okay. And that'll be an increase there. So that'll come to ultimately a higher price up here um, for the property. So, if this price here at the moment is around about a mil, 1 mil, just try to write that in. And then we come up here and this price here might be 1.2 mil. Okay, this is just the median house price for all capital cities across Australia, we'll call this. Okay, so you can sort of see there that that would be what would happen in a normal market if interest rates were to come back down, um, and that's not it's not too good. But what we would see too is as the price increases and the supply reduces potentially here. So if the supply reduces here and comes to, say, here, okay, so we now look at the new market equilibrium between D2 and S2. Okay, so that's the new market equilibrium there. And then we look at the old market equilibrium, which was between D1 and S1, which is here. So as you can see here, when quantity drops or goes down this way, what happens is price goes up this way. Okay. And that's basically supply and demand. Okay. So as supply decreases, the quantity of supply decreases, um, the demand um, increases, and as a result, prices go up. So if we're looking at the housing market and people go and look at, um, you more people try and buy houses in the current market and over borrow. This is the scenario of what's going to happen. People will be sort of paying price for houses up here as opposed to for where they are now, where they're paying here. Okay, demand for um, properties in Australia at the moment that, say the median house price across Australia and capital cities, $1 million. And everyone starts going and buying modular houses as opposed to feeding into first home buyers, building, the typical building and construction costs, or trying to buy new builds that cost, 800K, or trying to pay 1.2 mil or 1.4 mil just to get into the market. Say everyone starts going to modular based homes. What this then does is this decreases the demand. So we go from D1 here to D2 here. Okay. Now, let's just say supply start off with is there. Okay. So start with where supply is. And then as more modular homes get built and more land blocks get acquired, supply then comes out over here. Okay. Supply moves from S1 to S2. Okay. And we can see now that where we're at currently here, where D1 and S1 meets, D1, and then we're looking at S2 and D2, which is the okay. So what we can see here is S1, when S1 and D1 meet, the price that you're paying there for a house, which is 1 mil. Now, if we increase the quantity here of um, of houses and increase the supply, what happens then is demand comes back over here on the side, because people have bought a whole lot of modular homes, and as a result, there's less demand for houses in the inner city market, and that then reduces the cost of these properties here from 1 mil down to 800K. Right now, it wouldn't this model isn't. There's obviously a lot of other variables that would affect this particular model, because you have things and factors such as, or variable. So I'm going to go over here and write up some of the variables. Let's see if I can do some text on this. It'll be a bit easier than when I write it out. Yes, some of the variables here. Have a look, see if I can do a comment. Maybe that might work. Yeah. So the variables, some of the variables here include things such as immigration, factors, an increase in house prices. So all those sort of factors there probably wouldn't necessarily be a drop here, but this strategy here stops the housing prices for people that are still trying to get into the market, and it stops the rich from gaining that kind of capital growth of continuing the prices to keep increasing. So these are the variable, it's probably not going to go down, but this can definitely work as some form of a defense mechanism against the market. And it can also allow for, um, easier barrier of entry into the market. So the housing markets. That's something to consider. So some of the variables here to take into account that make housing prices go up is immigration, foreign investment, negative gearing, and we've also got things here, other sort of factors that, um, rising salaries, real wage growth is probably the big one. Real wage growth. Um, Other things that can influence the median house price include reduction in interest rates,